Hey everyone, so I don't know if you guys have been keeping up with the news, but Texas is not prepared for snow since snowed maybe 3 times in 10 years before I moved here. Since I moved here, it snowed 3 times. But we had record breaking lows and everything was iced over, and they purposefully turned off our electricity. So this is like the first day, it's Thursday. Since Monday, like I don't know, maybe 4 in the morning, maybe earlier, they turned off the electricity because they said they couldn't keep up with the demand because everybody had their heat on because it was below freezing. It was like in the low 30s. And that night it was 12 degrees and they left us without electricity. That This is the first time we've had consistent electricity since probably about 6 o'clock yesterday. So while I have my camera up, I'm just going to do a get ready with me video because Monday, when this first happened, we tried to go out to get a hot meal because eating cold canned food is disgusting. And everything was closed. All the strip mall was closed, which shocked me. I live right next to a strip mall. The streets were practically empty, and only Walmart and HEB had electricity. And don't tell me that wasn't. They said, look, they did it on purpose. They said as much in fancy words, and they called it rolling blackout by the city. It is criminal what they did to us. 12 degrees and no electricity because they can't keep up with demand. What the frig, Texas? You're rich. You have oil fields. You have humongous electrical plants. And you left us without electricity in 12-degree weather? It was just all around Houston, all the surrounding counties. It was horrible. So we have been in and out of electricity. But that night to leave us in 12-degree weather with no electricity, that was horrendous. Because the heat is by electricity, the cooking is by electricity. So I'm just gonna try and just do a get ready with me video because we tried Monday. Well, my husband we went to the car to charge our phones and to warm up. And my husband just said, let's just go out when they said it was dangerous conditions. And I'm in my pajamas I have my pajamas on. And he's like, oh, don't worry, you don't have to get out of the car. But when we got to HEB, I mean, that's ridiculous that only 2 stores had electricity. That had to have been by design. The line to get into Walmart was whipped around the corner. I'm sorry if I look pale, but I've been trying to use up my stick foundation because I only use it when it's cold like this. I just want to use it up. It's almost finished. But anyway, I'm just using my 120 palette. I took some of my three of my Mary Kay shadows that were in empty palettes and just stuck them in here. So I'm using my eyebrow powder right now. But anyway, we go to HEB. We're trying to get some hot food for us because it was horrible freezing. You can't make coffee, you can't make hot chocolate. And they closed off one side, so there was no parking on the entrance side. My husband said, I'll go in. And you know how you have those dreams that you're naked? In this dream, this is almost, to me, that's the same thing because I was in my pajamas and I was starting to feel, anxiety. And then this lady just cuts us off as we're trying to look for a parking spot. But I mean, cuts us off to that we could have gotten into a crash type of cutoff. That was it. My anxiety was through the roof. I said, nope, let's go home. I don't want to be here. They closed early because the driving conditions were so bad that they didn't want their people driving at night, which, it's understandable. So they opened late, they closed early. I'm using purple. So, we came home. We stayed in the car. My husband stayed. We stayed in the car until his phone charged up sufficiently because, he still has to work. Because he lives on property, so they expected him to be up and about, getting whatever guys live on property to shovel, to throw down salt, blah, blah, blah. Because there was like a half an inch of snow that was turning to like ice. I was so mad. One thing though I have to say we were lucky about is that we still had running water, because everybody has to leave their pipe, the water to a slow drip, so the pipes don't freeze. Lots of places, the water was so low they couldn't get water out of the water pressure was too low to get any water. So all the bottled water is gone in the stores. We still have running water, but they issued a warning that the water may look dirty, but it's still safe to drink. But to be on the safe side, you should boil it. How you boil it if you don't have electricity? I've been so angry this week that I was pissed off at Texas. I never wanted to live here for the rest of my life, and now I'm even more determined. I don't know how, but I want to just move out of here. I was so pissed. We live in the north. There's people who live in the north, and they could be like 6 feet of snow, and people are still opening the store. Everybody's open. They lay down the salt. They have these big trucks that shovel out the snow out of the way, and everything's delayed by about 6 hours, but everything's open. The only thing that might close down is the schools. And I love the snow. I miss the snow. But it became a madhouse here. It seemed to me it was worse than Hurricane Harvey. For one is, people cutting you off. Even during Hurricane Harvey, the stores were open to sell what they had. Just the people were acting crazier than usual. But then I guess what can I expect from people that hoard toilet paper during a crisis and doesn't think about their fellow man? What I guess that's what can I expect. I was just so mad this week that I was like hating on Texas. So anyway, that night my husband tried to see if there was any place open for us to get something hot, and nope, everything was closed. Buc-ee's, which is a big gas station here in Texas, they were open, but they weren't serving anything hot. Usually they might make a lot of like just one thing, pulled pork barbecue sandwiches, and then they leave them in the heaters, and you could buy that. But they're to me they're disgusting. I don't like the barbecue. Barbecue down here is too spicy for me. So me and my daughter were eating canned food, cold canned food. My husband felt bad, so he went out the next morning and stood out in that freezing cold for 20 minutes just to get me hot coffee. I felt so bad. If I would have known he was going to do that, I would have told him not to do that. Because, to be out in the cold, I would have told him, no, come home. That's it. That's it. I don't want him to. But he did it for me. He brought me 2 large coffees, and me and my daughter drank them. But the hot food was only open temporarily, and the line, there was 2 lines. One to just buy stuff and one just for the hot food. It was... Anyway, when the heat finally came on Tuesday late morning, we were so excited, and right away we made some coffee, and we started making some hot food using the stove. We jumped in the shower. I am not one of those people that could live without a shower a day. I can't sleep if I haven't had a shower. And I had to be without a shower. I felt so disgusting. And the thing is, even though I tried to use wipies to clean the important parts, I still felt disgusting. I was, and I'm thinking, I have my table all set up to do my video on Sunday night to do it for the morning, Monday morning. But, the power went out at 4 in the morning, didn't come back. So then the next day it came on at 10. So, we're making hot food, and just trying to get the house to warm up because we were waiting for the hot water to come on so we could take a shower because it takes a couple of hours. This house did not get hot till 4 in the afternoon. That was, I think, Tuesday. And I don't remember what happened. I think the lights started going on and off. I think that I don't remember why I wasn't. Oh, my hair. Even though I washed my hair Sunday night, I don't know why my hair was just like an afro. And I was putting moisturizer to try to get it, decent enough for a video. And it wasn't working. And like I said, the house didn't heat up till 4. And, we were just concerned with getting things done while we had the heat. And I was like, I'm not washing my hair again. The only way I could get it to be nice again is to, put conditioner in it. It was just too cold for that. And so I was thinking about yesterday, Wednesday, jumping into the shower and just, doing my hair to get it nice and moisturized. The heat turned off and on the entire night. And it was off and it didn't turn on again until about 11. So the heat kept going in and out every couple of hours, after after Tuesday morning, because we had no heat Monday at all. It was horrible. My husband had like 2 quilts. The kids had their quilts. I don't use a quilt because I'm just hot all the time. So my husband said he was in shock. I actually slept with a blanket. I have all the crochets blankets I did that are in the house because I don't have any room for them outside in the Tupperwares. We just took them. My son and my daughter had a quilt and that, and then I just had one crochet blanket. But that night that it was 12 degrees, I had layers. I had a regular pajamas, a light winter pajama, and a heavy winter pajama. And I don't like wearing socks. My feet get too hot. I had socks on and my feet felt like they were burning. And when I took off my socks, my feet were freezing. And the blanket didn't do nothing. So forget about having a good night's sleep in that cold. That was horrible. So I've been using a blanket. Oh, and the poor dogs. They're not letting us sleep because they're trying to squeeze into our bodies and we're uncomfortable. And then they're literally taking the blanket off of us for themselves. Oh my goodness. I was like, it was bad. It was bad. And I'm laughing about it now, but it was not funny, man. That was horrible. Horrible, horrible, horrible. So I just used my Mary Kay Blue that like I said, they were just in pallets by themselves. So I just took them out and put them in here in my 180. So I just used a dark Mary Kay Blue and then a 180 purple. And then just using like samples of white for my, And I finally started using this. I made it, late last year. But I started using it because I must have had about 15 NYX colored liquid eyeliners. And, a regular black eyeliner, you could add eye drops. And it just, it works again. But not these colored ones. They were so dried out. And that's what I was going to use. And I was like, when am I ever going to use this? I guess I'm just trying to finish the stuff that I know is going to dry out first. And no, I did everything. I looked up how to fix when it's like that. They said put a little bit of alcohol, and, then you put I tried the eye drops. I tried the alcohol. I even tried using, I think, oil, some sort of, I think it was coconut oil. I don't know. Liquid coconut oil, I think. Or anyway, nah. Those things were drier than dry. I was so mad. 15 NYX. I stopped buying from them early last year because they just pissed me off so much. So you pay all that money, and then they weren't working, and I think I had them for maybe 5 years. So I just wanted to get to using them, and usually I use different color, and then I might put some glitter on it. These were metallic liners. Garbage. They all had to go in the garbage. I was so mad. I was like, you know what? Then let me use this. People say that this is gonna go bad and blah blah blah. So I I really like this, but I'm not sure if it's that some I didn't put enough, like the garnet one, this deep color. It was very flaky, whereas I used two other colors or three other colors, and they were pretty like moist, and it's awesome. You just press it on and it stays on. It's awesome. I guess that's why because they are moist, I guess they say that they might go bad really fast. So I was like, well, that's what I'll use. Even something like Mary Kay, it pisses me off. Even Mary Kay stuff, you pay all that money for it, and then it goes bad real fast. I need more. So anyway, a couple of grocery stores opened up and were closing early. Everything else was closed. The streets, there's only cars you saw was in HEB and Walmart. Anyway, every time I said I'm gonna try and do a video, jump in, when it got warm again, I'll jump in the shower, get my hair nice and conditioned, and then so yesterday, Wednesday, like I said, it happened. I'm just using that same thing for my inner corner here. It was, like I said, it was going in and out all day. By the time everything warmed up, it was kind of, then it would like turn off again. So it turned off on us, and that first night was rough because you couldn't do nothing. You're totally in the dark. It gets dark here about, I don't know, maybe 6:30. So I don't go to bed till at least 10. And so for those 4 hours, you're just sitting in the dark. And I said, oh man, I wish, and I can't open up my garage. I have an outdoor garage over there because it's electrical. So I said, I know I have Christmas candles. Then I forgot that I do have candles in the house too. But we were just sitting in the dark. My son had like 3 flashlights, and I was trying to read, but my hand was hurting me, so I couldn't hold the book. So that's how it's been going here. So after that, we will have electricity for a few hours, and it'd be out for a few hours, and we have electricity for 2 hours. As soon as that light goes on, you gotta cook, jump in the shower, charge your phones. But that first night, that first Monday, it was 12 degrees that night. It was horrible. No electricity for the entire day, and it was 12 degrees that night. So anyway, I couldn't, it's dark in my apartment. So, I couldn't even turn on the light. I thought, oh, maybe I could do my video. I said, wait, I said, my camera should have juice in it, but then I remember I don't have light. So that was rough. I was trying to read Twilight Midnight Sun. I only got through a few pages, and my hand was hurting me so bad I couldn't anymore hold the book. So yeah, then my son let me play with his Switch. So I can't do any games that require a lot of hand energy because of my bad hand. So I was just playing a scrolling game, Kirby, a scrolling game, while I was in the dark. Yeah, that was really rough. Being in the car for 2 hours to keep warm and charge my phone, and dealing with 12-degree weather and no heat. Oh man, I love being in the snow, but I come into a warm house and have hot chocolate afterwards. This is horrible. Um, what's up with this water thing? You know, I'm from New York. We have minus wind chills. Never, ever, ever experienced anything like this. I mean, when I was in North Carolina, they had an ice storm. And because they're stupid, all their electrical wires were above ground instead of underground. And we were without electricity for 2 days, and it was 19. But it's because we didn't live completely down south like here. We slept in our coats, our hats, our scarves. I don't have a coat. And that's because, when I gained a lot of weight, I couldn't fit anything. And you really don't. I'm always hot. So I just put a thick sweater, I layer, hat, scarf, sometimes gloves. But, I could understand all the power lines went down. That's not what happened here. We got our electricity back in 2 days because we live near the mall. Where my brother lives, he lives down the block from a hospital, so thank God he has everything. But what is up with the water? I've never experienced that. The water might be, you're gonna have low water pressure. They're telling us don't drip your faucets. It's using up too much water. But if we don't drip our faucets, then our pipes will burst. So, the water might be a little dirty, but it's safe to drink. But boil it just in case. With what? If you don't have electricity here, you're not going to be able to boil water. So this is ridiculous. I think one of the reasons why my hair is a little bit more dried out than usual. Well, I washed my hair yesterday as soon as the heat came on. I jumped in the shower, washed my hair. But I tried to get the coconut oil out, as I always put that in right after I wash my hair, so that it doesn't dry so frizzy. I think the last time why it dried frizzy was because I put a lot of, I forgot what it's called, but the stuff that helps your hair not to fall out after you dried it out. Because as you could tell, I bleached it, and I did the 2-to-1 ratio, and I got the golden color here as opposed to a lighter color. If I had used a 1-to-1, it probably would have been lighter. But that stuff was very rough on my hair. I didn't want to be bald, and that's what I was afraid would happen even with the 2-to-1. But I got tired of the green. I wanted it out. I want to put my my magenta, my cobalt, and I think it's called Purple Passion. Anyway, so I think that's why I put a ton of it in, because there was some fallout. I expected, especially my really damaged hair, I expected it to come out, and I think that stuff can make your hair hard, and I think that's why it frizzed up so much. If I did put any last night, I only put a little bit. I just put a ton of oil, coconut oil, the liquid oils that stay liquid. But your pure coconut oil, that was frozen solid. I couldn't get anything out of that. Me and my husband have been having the same argument. We've been married for 32 years almost. And since we started paying for electricity, when we moved to North Carolina, I'm always telling him, stop leaving the lights on. You like supporting the electric company? And we would get into an argument. And you're always getting emails and information from the electric company themselves to conserve energy. Please leave the lights off when you're not there. You can hear the drip in the kitchen. I never heard it that loud before. Anyway, So, we've been having that same argument. A couple of times it really blew up. And, he just likes leaving the light on. I think it's because he forgets. So when I get mad at him, he gets mad at me because he can't remember or whatever. Anyway. After all this happened, he says to me early this morning, because we've had consistent electricity since 6 o'clock probably yesterday, 6 or 7. And, he usually exercises every morning. He couldn't exercise. But then he was shoveling snow. So, because, you need to be able to shower afterwards. And, he was just thanking God for electricity and hot water. And he says to me, Charlene, I understand now. I understand now the importance of conserving, of not leaving the lights on so they don't turn it off on you. I was like, yep. I use 4 different mascaras. I used to put like 6 coats. Now I just use 4 different mascaras for my videos. I use Bretman Rock to start with, and then I'll use my I'll either use my Fiber or my Rose eyeshadow from Physicians Formula Rose. And then I'll use my Believe Beauty Fiber to get my lashes thicker and longer. And now I try to top it off with waterproof. But the waterproof one doesn't really work. I still have black, especially on this side. I'm not sure why. But this is voluminous, and it's supposed to be waterproof. And I have a heck of a time getting it off too. But it still goes down here. And I've had that problem with waterproof before. Mary Kay's waterproof. But the other bad thing about waterproof is that it dries out faster. So everybody's angry and frustrated with Texas for how they've handled this whole situation. I mean, Texas is a rich oil. You got your rich oil tycoons. You got money in Texas. Why can't you handle heat? You can handle the air conditioner being on for 10 months out of the year, but you can't handle a couple of nights of heat. So everybody's pissed. So now I gotta clean up. I take a Q-tip. I take moisturizer, and I have to put it under my eyes because I make a mess, but it's because I know now that it's because my eyes are so deep set. It's just gonna get on the bottom no matter what I do. And I take a wipe, clean it off. But as you can tell by the end of my video, I'm still gonna have black under my eyes. Anyway, wow, this foundation it's too light, but when I put the powder on and everything, you can see I use it's a contour stick and my foundation stick finish, but I still have concealer, and so I kind of put the brown first, and then I put with brown still on my sponge. I buff in the white, but then by the time I put foundation and powder and all that, everything evens out. So They expect everything to warm up. First, they were saying this weekend. They said people are going to be without power until Friday, or up until Friday. Um, it was supposed to warm up on, I think, Saturday, and now it's not going to warm up until next week sometime. But at least it's not in the teens. So yeah, see, this is the Nix. It's I was using the Nix stick too, but that finished. I'm just trying to finish off the contours. Is like I just been taking it, having to take it out, but I'm using this for now. Um, I've been using these a lot. And I have the Elf that I bought a long time ago, and it's like a purple cream brush and blush. I just put it on like this. Just try to like rub it in, and I think my face is asymmetrical because I noticed that one side has more blush than the other every time I do my makeup, and it's because I'm following my cheekbone. I don't know. Oh, whoa. See, right here. The mascara is getting on down here. This always happens no matter what I do. It's still getting on the bottom. It doesn't matter what I do, how much I wipe, it just comes right back. This is a purple face powder that I got from NYX, and I just use it for the as like for highlighting. I think I still have powder on this brush because this contour keeps coming off. Yeah, purple. The purple powder is for people who have very yellow skin tone, and supposedly the purple powder is supposed to neutralize that. And I just love purple, so I use it for for the highlighting part. I also use a little bit of the green stick to deal with the redness. So I just doing a get ready with me video because I need to. I have no groceries. Well, I have groceries, but we've just been eating up what we have, so it don't go bad. What's in the fridge? Um, I got nothing for dinner, so I figure I gotta put on makeup anyway. I really didn't want to do like go into any of my neons or anything. I just wanted to do a get ready with me. This is my everyday makeup right now. Still trying to work at my 120. Some of my Mary Kay stuff trying to work through. Even started wearing some of the LA Girl matte liquid lipsticks. We didn't even go out for Valentine's Day. It was really ugly. It was, in the low 30s. Some places were closing down already. Um, so we didn't even go out. We ordered in, but couldn't do that this week with no electricity. Some people could afford to buy generators, and they have them out in the patios. But try getting gas. My husband, some places had long gas lines, but when he went up to Bucky's, he saw that there really was no line for the gas, so he got some gas. And we only needed the gas. I mean, we thought the streets were going to be bad, but they salted it. And I mean, there was the half-inch snow was barely even sticking. It was melting already. It was just like ridiculous. Like, we drove. When we went to go to HEB, everything was closed, even the gas stations. And the only gas station that was open was that around us was the HEB one, and there was a line. See, so it kind of balances out. It's not too bad. It is winter, so I don't like looking so pale, but I think the powder kind of like offsets a lot of the pale. The blush offsets a lot of the pale. And then Wednesday, we couldn't go out. We were thinking of going out yesterday, but it was freezing rain, so the ice was accumulating again, and supposedly, it was dangerous conditions, but it's very patchy. My husband said it wasn't that bad out there. That, the streets were clear. I didn't want to go out in the freezing rain though. That one of the things I don't remember ever experiencing, even up north, is that in Texas it's so hot and humid. It's ridiculously hot. But when it rains, that rain is always freezing. So it's always freezing, and in below freezing temperatures, it's gonna coat the floor. So the streets. So I didn't want to go out in that. Even though my husband said, because he's just going between two properties right next to each other, he said the streets were clear. I don't know. But he did talk to someone, like other grocery stores started opening, but they're understaffed and they're closing early because as it gets darker, the temperatures drop, and they're trying to make it safe. And there goes the black. No matter what I do. So anyway, let's see what's out there. Let's see what's out there. The temperatures are going to be in the low 30s to high 20s, so it is going to be cold. They're telling everybody to keep their heat on 68, but if I put my heat on 68, it will turn off. And it doesn't come back on. I put it on 70, and it takes too long to come back on, and by then it's blowing out cold air. So I put it on 72. That's like perfect. It blows out heat. It stops when the house warms up, and then it turns back on. So anyway, yeah, I get hot easily, so I don't want it higher than that because it just gets too hot. And even on 72, if it gets too warm, I'm layers, right? I'm just taking off the layers. So right now, when I do my makeup, I guess because I'm working and I'm, really working hard at my makeup, I do get hot. So right now I'm just in my regular pajamas. So hopefully next week everything will get back to normal. It was supposed to heat up on Friday. Now they're saying it might not heat up till Wednesday. The temperatures are slowly gonna increase. Right now it's in the I think 30s. Tomorrow it'll go up to the 40. At night it's still getting very cold though, in the third low, below freezing. But it's not going down to 16 again. It's like either the low 30s or the high 20s, and then it's gonna go up to 60, and then by Wednesday it's gonna go up to 70. So, and it's really humid here, so that's pretty warm here. That's pretty good here. So I wish I could live somewhere where it's 70 degrees all the time and no humidity. But anyway, so hopefully everything will get back to normal next week. So I'm gonna go wake up my son and put on my layers, go out and see what I can find. Because if trucks are not coming in and people been, waiting on lines, or stores are packed and whatnot. The stores, I don't know, might be empty, but I'm gonna see what I can get. At least I can, because I don't even have meat to cook, so at least maybe I'll just bring home hot meals for us and something for breakfast and stuff, or at least to hold us maybe till early next week. So anyway, love you all. Take care. Mwah. Bye.